Day.
Woo!
Second day of the meeting. Y'all ready to learn? Y'all ready to grow? How you feeling, Sheila?
Man, I don't think I'm feeling as good as you guys.
Yeah?
That went to the CEO dinner last night. How was it?
It was good. What do y'all think? Who went? It was delicious. D-Ham was there.
What was this, your second season getting to go in a row?
Yes, ma'am.
Which was better? Tell me the truth.
Oh, last night. It just keeps getting better and better.
Dang.
It was awesome.
What'd you get? Some Wagyu, some wine? What'd you fill up on?
We got there and Todd always is as classy as ever. He did a toast to the group, which was really nice. We sat down and we had a nice salad. I'm not a big salad person, right? So I took a couple of bites, and when my server came by, he was like, "Oh, smart move." He's like, "I see what's coming out next. You're going to want to have some room for that." So I was like, "Okay, cool." Then they bring out this Wagyu 35-year aged steak. Oh, my gosh. It
Year or days? I'm worried about that one.
35 days. It
like,
felt like 35 years.
Well, I can definitely say going to Mango's down the street wasn't quite as that top par as y'all CEO steak dinners.
It was delicious.
Good job, you guys. I know you worked hard for that.
Yes, indeed. It was awesome.
Well, what's better than a steak and a bottle of wine?
I don't know. What? Somebody said free clothes.
Anybody want some free clothes? Let's talk about this platinum package.
Platinum package. Royal Classic. Range 12. Super 1 what? 30s, 40s?
Super 140s.
Round and around we go.
And although yesterday was really fun and kind of an anomaly, we won't be giving anything away. We'll keep it at random. But thank you, Alex, for changing it up on us. We like things being different. Oh, another familiar. All right. 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. Can I get Tiffany Popson up on the stage?
Tiffany Popson! I haven't seen her.
Uh-oh.
Tiffany Popson!
Uh-oh. Going once.
Going twice.
Off
It's
to the
Tiffany.
next.
Okay.
You snooze, you lose,
Yes.
y'all.
All right. Bam. Get you one of those.
Uh-oh, I think I grabbed 2. There we go. Oh, a new name here.
Yeah, newbie.
6, 9, 8, 4, 1. How about Miss Sydney Phillips?
Sydney
Get some free clothes.
Sydney Phillips.
I know you're here.
I see
Come on,
someone walking
ATL.
up. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Nothing better than some free clothes.
Come on over here for a picture.
What a good-looking suit, too.
Very
oh my
nicely
gosh.
tailored. Hello, congratulations, Sydney. Give it up, y'all, for Sydney and her platinum package.
If you want to learn from other top producers and take your business to the next level, then welcome to the stage your coaching coordinator, Ayman El-Shami.
Good morning, Tom James. So I have the opportunity to share a little bit more about our coaching programs. We're going to go through qualifications, the criteria, and then we're going to hear from a few folks, and then we're going to wrap it up with an exciting announcement. Does that sound good? Okay. So the purpose of the coaching program is to give Tom James partners seeking to grow their personal sales through mentorship, accountability, and skills training so they can take their business to the next level. Each coaching session lasts 2 months and consists of 8 weeks of weekly phone calls, working through a process of solidifying personal goals for the program, establishing a plan of action and accountability for achieving the goals, and proceeding to work on the skills and thinking necessary to keep up with the plan. Participants are paired with coaches who are selling at least one club level ahead of them. All coaches in the program are trained and managed monthly by the coaching program lead. Coaching pairings are decided in week 4 of the preceding month. Coaches and participants are notified of who they will be working with in week 1, and then the first call is scheduled immediately after. During this call, a recurring call schedule is put in place for the remainder of the 2-month engagement. Results have shown that this is most effective when the coach and the leader communicate with each other each week, even via text, email, to ensure that they're working in partnership to help the participant rather than in conflict with one another. The coaching team will encourage both coach and leader to connect on a weekly basis, as well as review the Google Sheet throughout the program, but ultimately this communication is up to the individuals themselves. All right, so the criteria, if y'all look up there, so for the advanced, we have 3 coaching programs, okay? So we have the advanced follow day coaching. You have to have a rolling 12 units of 1,500 or more. We have our standard coaching program, which is a rolling 12 units of 1,000 to $1,499 to apply. And then we have our President's Club coaching, which is a rolling 12 units of 750. And then you have to have a previous 3-month average of 63 units in order to apply and be accepted and paired up with the coach. We expect people to be transparent and authentic with their coach, track fully once they request to have a coach, plus track during the entire coaching period, and then to set a consistent day and time for coaching calls where you'll be in a quiet area and where you'll have access to the internet and be able to be intentional. We expect you to proactively take part in letting the coach know what they hope to gain from the program, what they need the most help with, what leadership styles are most effective for them, follow and support company initiatives and directives, have a positive mindset and be willing to be held accountable, and then obviously be on the call 30 minutes each week with your coach and text them daily. Lastly, fill out a weekly Google form for feedback from the calls on what the action items will be and what will be implemented each week. All right, so we have the opportunity to hear from a coach and a coachee from each coaching program to hear more about their experience. Y'all good with that? All right, so I'd like to welcome to the stage Miss Reagan Hopkins from our Roanoke office. She was coached by Madison D., and y'all, she's up 151% year to date. And get this, hit President's Club in June. Awesome. So you can sit at the end there. All right, next up, and also we're having the coach come up here too. So welcome, Miss Madison D. All right, next up, we have Courtney Turner, coached by Lauren Dawkins. She is up 30% year to date, and she had her best month ever in June. Welcome. Lauren, can you come join us as well? Come on up. All right, our last pairing combo is Trevor DeJarnett, and he's already up here, coached by, and Dan Milas is too, coached by Dan Milas. Y'all, Trevor had a crazy coaching period. If you look at his results, he was up 124 units from month 1 to month 2, which is pretty significant. So, all right, thank y'all. So I've got 3 questions for the coachees, and then I've got 2 questions for each coach. All right, so we're just going to kind of go one by one. We can start with Trevor, and then we can work it backwards, okay? So Yeah. So Trevor, what made you want to apply for a coach?
So simply put, I wanted to grow. I definitely feel like if you hit chairmans or you start hitting certain club levels, you often forget that there's always going to be points where you need a little bit of insight from someone else to go to that next level. So that's how I was feeling. So that's why I signed up for coaching.
That's great. Courtney?
I mean, similarly to you, I definitely wanted to grow. I think that's the main goal of coaching. For me, I had a little bit of a different experience because I'm in a single store. Coaching for me was really just about having camaraderie-ship and a different perspective and really honing in on those aspects of my business that I know that I need help with and finding someone that knows how to do it better than me. So that's kind of why I did it, and I've had the opportunity to have a lot of different coaches, and they have all added totally different things to my business, which has been so helpful.
That's good.
Oh, you have one.
Oh, we got two minutes.
I feel like I waited way too long to sign up for coaching because Brittany put it perfectly yesterday in her speech of just like, I feel like I needed to reach a certain sales level, and I was just like the barrier, and I need to be more consistent and do the things that I knew I was supposed to do, and then I could do coaching, and that was pretty much what I did, and I just like struggled through the beginning of last season. And I feel like I could have signed up earlier, but I knew I was coming up on hitting PC, and I knew that I didn't want to, I was terrified of the PC hangover, still am. And I just wanted help on changing my perspective and shifting my mindset and just like addressing the things that were in the dark or that I was avoiding to help to continue to grow past PC and not become stagnant.
That's good. We could stay with you. We'll snake it back around. So when you first, what were your initial kind of like thoughts and fears coming into the program?
Yeah, I went to my leader and I was like, I'm so anxious to meet with Madison because I was like, what if I like sit down and she's like, you're doing everything wrong. Like you just need to totally start over. Which I think that's really the case for anybody. But I was just nervous because you're basically just like coming in and opening up your business and letting your activity and your numbers and everything just be put under a microscope, which is kind of nerve-wracking when you know you're not doing all the right things. But I was like, I know I'm not doing all the right things, and that's why I want to get coaching. And so this is like an exciting thing, and she's going to, like, don't we all just want somebody to be like, this is what you need to do better, and then you can do better? I'm like, well, hello, that's why I signed up for this. So I think that was what I was nervous about, and I was just excited to like hear somebody else's perspective because we have people in our office that are really excited to help us and kind of see a different side of us. And so I feel like it was nice to have an unbiased point of view on my business. That's what I was looking forward to.
That's good. Courtney?
Yeah, I think that's similar. I think, it's difficult sometimes to just look yourself in the face honestly and really look at your numbers and dig into why those things are happening. It's not the easiest thing to do. And having a coach kind of like transparently look into everything you're doing isn't easy. And also I'm in a single store. So for me, I guess my biggest fear is just not being able to understand the perspective that they have on, office culture and their business, and just kind of just not being able to relate to them. But I've found that it's completely opposite, and having that fresh perspective has been totally helpful for my business.
Trevor?
My biggest fear, even though Dan's awesome, my biggest fear was that it was going to turn into, hey, Trevor, send this text today. Hey, Trevor, do this to add 50 units this month. My goal with my business is I want to know how to sell 350 units a month, 12 months in a row, a year from now. I don't care if I sell 400 twice the rest of the season. So what's great, as a coach as well, Dan did such a great job. I know our other coaches do as well. They listen to what your goal is and help you get there. So if you look at my numbers on the secured side, I'm not where I want to be this season. But you watch out this next 6 months because I know it's going to add up because I know we put a plan in place and it's going to come to fruition. So that was my biggest fear, but Dan's awesome. So
That's right, Trevor. I love it. Good. We'll stay with you and snake it back around. What was, if you think back to your coaching experience with Dan specifically, obviously, what was your the biggest change that you saw in your business through coaching with him?
yeah, so the biggest change and most important thing I took away, if you're someone in the Advanced Follow Day program, you've built a business. I mean, it's like you know what you're doing in a lot of areas. But with that, when you have 150 to 300 clients, there's a lot of things you could do. There's a lot of things you could focus on. I think the most important thing about having a top 25 person is they're going to give you permission to focus on X. And so Dan, for me, gave me permission, really hunt new clients. Make a goal to just set new appointments. It doesn't matter if they're tomorrow or a week from now. Start setting appointments with new clients. And that's why my ladies' business is up double. Because transparently, ladies cancel more than anybody else in my experience for new clients. That's just my experience. Maybe it's my problem, okay? But, oh my gosh. And he gave me permission to be like, whatever. You set those appointments today with new people. Sweet. I got 2 in the last week before I came here with ladies. And so it's going to come to fruition. So you get permission from someone who's awesome in our top 25 to chase something.
I think for me, the biggest change is Lauren has.
Well, yeah, you're good. That's
The
perfect.
biggest change is Lauren helped me simplify my business and organize it in a way that was right for me. Like, I feel like having a coach and having people around you that have different systems and have different ways of operating their businesses really opens up a door to see how you run your business and make changes. Lauren has helped me make really small changes that have been very impactful. For example, I used to be like a unit person. That's what I focused on. I focused on units and dollar amount. Lauren has helped me simplify it down to do 10 transactions a week, see 5 people a day, and it makes it so much easier. Like, I just overcomplicated things before, and she's really helped me just put a plan in place to make things simple and digestible for me, which has been very helpful.
Good.
I think same thing with Madison. She just really helped me to simplify it and just like wrapping my mind around the fact that I had to shift my perspective from like I'm just trying to run really fast, growing a business to PC and adding tons of new clients to like what Milo said, I think in January about how, you know, what got you here won't get you there, and the difference between PC and to chairman's is proficiency in selling on delivery. And so just shifting to like you're saying, like leaning into selling your clients really well and serving them the best versus just like get new clients to get new clients, which obviously is still important and still kind of the forefront of my mind, but just learning how to do that well and do the simple things and do the small steps that I wasn't really thinking about, and just kind of diving into giving really good service was really helpful for me.
That's good. So something changed for y'all, but I'm sure a lot of you guys considered coaching, and a lot of you guys might have as well. But there's a switch that happened, you know, to get you guys to go there, and I'm assuming that you guys didn't regret that decision based on y'all's results. So what do you think? What advice would you give to somebody, or why do you think someone should consider signing up and applying to have a coach?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go.
I think that, like I was saying, if there's a coaching program for people that are at 2,500 units, which is like double in sum of what I'm doing, then like obviously there's a reason that I should be doing it, and I'm not doing everything right. And I think I was also had the mindset of like I wasn't in a good place, so I shouldn't do coaching yet. Like that probably would have helped me get out of the rut faster. And then also like if you are doing well and you're at your highest rolling 12, like a coach is still going to be able to identify the things that you're excelling at and help you to just exacerbate that growth and to grow even faster than you've been doing. So there's not really a downside of like having, like we said, a fresh set of eyes on your business to show you what you're doing well, and then also to help you not avoid the things that have been painful or hard.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's honestly just as simple as why not? I mean, I've had a lot of different coaches, and that perspective from each and every person has given me something to my business. And I guess it's really honestly just so simple as why not? I think everyone should have a coach. I think being coached is what life is about. You know what I mean? Whether that's in business or personally, it's just about having a fresh perspective and set of eyes on what you're doing and making little tiny changes that are really impactful.
That's right.
For myself, I always have to let go of the pride part of me that says, well, I know what to do. I know what I should be doing. Why does it make a difference to go and see somebody else do the same thing? I mean, Jordan's in my office. He's doing the best. So why do I need to see something else? How many of you, you don't have to raise your hands, but just think, how many of you have read, you know, a couple dozen books that have been recommended here and noticed about 10 of them say the same darn thing, but like 1 or 2 books really speak to you because of that author. Right? Okay? That was my experience with Dan. That's my experience with many of you. That's my experience when Grant Reeder talked about how he floated. He talked totally different, never heard it explained that way. And I was like, it's the same thing, but it hit different. So go and find that nugget. Go and find that thing that hits you so well. Because what hit me right in the face was, Dan after the 3rd appointment said, so is this what you do all day? I said, yep, just with less people. He said, yep, you need new clients. I was like, yep. So yeah, get a new perspective. And if you have to go ride with somebody, you're going to want to not take the time. So if you're 1,500 plus, but do it just like you plan your vacations, just like you plan your everything else, you take time out. Take the time now while you're here. Decide what month, when are you going to apply, when are you going to take that time to go take that trip.
That's good. We can give a round of hand for that. Y'all, as y'all can hear, some of the coachees that get the best results, they take complete ownership of it, as y'all can see here. It's not something that, you're waiting for a coach to tell you what to do, but you go in, you're ready for it, you're ready to learn, you're ready to grow. It'll change your business, no doubt about it. So, all right, we want to hear from Dan, Lauren, and Madison, the people behind the scenes, our coaches. So, first question for y'all is, throughout your coaching experience, or throughout your experience as a coach, what do you think made your coach E effective? And then why do you think your coachees see the massive growth that they've accomplished?
I mean, this is going to sound stupid, but coachability, obviously. I find when people come to coach, they're either introspective and self-aware or they're not. And they either need to be told what to work on or they know exactly what they need to work on. And there's no wrong answer there. And we work together on figuring out and diagnosing what the issue could be or what is that roadblock between where you're at and where you want to be and what your goal is. So we go step by step and just breaking it down in its simplest form. And I think that with the coachees, it's boiled down to something so simple that they can just be like, I can do that. Like, that's attainable for me. And if that's all I need to do to get to the next level, then that's easy for me. And maybe not easy, but I can see it now. It's a little bit clearer. And then, what was the second part?
Why do you think Trevor saw the growth that he did?
He was pretty unrelenting, which was really good. And I think he utilized me as a resource and other folks too, to the fullest, like texting me on a daily basis, reaching out with questions when it wasn't just our phone calls, doing the extracurricular to just kind of take a little bit from me every day if he could, and really not having any weird or wrong questions, just curious. Hey, I had this going on. Hey, I've got this situation. Hey, I need help with this. And we'll always talk about something that, that is a roadblock that we could work on. And there's generally a curriculum anyways, but when it all boils down to it, and I'd say 100% of the time when I'm working with somebody coaching, it's always new business, always. So we hit the nail on the head pretty easy, pretty quick with that.
That's good. Thank you. Lauren, throughout your experience as a coach, what do you think made your coachee effective and have the results, the massive results that they accomplished?
Yeah, I think one of the best things about the coaching program in general is just the sense of community that you can get. Kind of like Trevor said, with Jordan being in his office, it allows you to get a perspective outside of your office, even outside of your division. So just having that extra sense of community, one, is a huge part of the coaching program. I think what made Courtney so effective and still so effective is she came in with a complete ownership mindset. A palms up mentality of I'm here to learn and understand and develop in everything that you're saying and that we're talking about because I want to grow. So everything that we talked about, she took to heart and immediately started to implement. So having that palms up mentality before we even got into the nitty-gritty of her business, I think is what really carried her to her best month. And then I think why she's been so effective too, like Dan was saying, is we just kept it really, really simple. It's so easy to overcomplicate what we do and get into fabrics and type of people and prospecting and what text should I send. But at the end of the day, y'all, we just got to book appointments and go see people and get transactions. Sounds so easy when I say that. But that's what we did with Courtney this last month, is all we focused on was a weekly focus rather than a monthly focus. And we had a weekly goal rather than her monthly goal, and we took dollars and units out of it, and we just focused on stakes and transactions. And within 2 weeks, she was over quota. She took a personal trip, so she took days off, and she ended up having her best month yet in June, working less time while at sales school, while traveling, all just from focusing on TRs and stakes. So I think the sense of community, having the full ownership mindset with the palms up, and then just keeping it really, really simple.
It's really good. Madison?
Yes. So I think with Reagan, it was just being transparent. She has been so open and honest and very similar to everyone else, having that ownership mentality and also being extremely coachable. And so everything we worked on, I knew she would be honest. She's like, I'm kind of uncomfortable. But she still took ownership over her actions and tried it. And so then she started seeing, okay, this is working, and getting comfortable and gaining that confidence. I think that's what's been so awesome to see with Reagan, is seeing how she wasn't comfortable doing some of the things we talked about, but then her just taking that ownership over it and making it work for her. So just really everything with that, I think, has really led to the success she has and is going to continue to do. So she's on a great track.
That's great. All right, last question. And Dan, Lauren, or Madison, who wants to answer it?
What's
Lauren.
the last question?
Yeah, exactly. Now here's the question.
What can someone expect in their coaching months? Can you give us a quick just rundown of what they can expect once they apply, and then what the next couple months looks like?
Yeah, so once you apply, obviously, like Eamon said, you'll get paired with someone who is at least a club level above what you're selling, which I think is awesome, that it's also not so far ahead that it might be hard to believe that you could get your business to that point, but you'll get paired with a coach, and Eamon does a great job too, thinking through like what your goals are and who's gonna match and mesh well too. And then when it comes to at least coaching with me, I'm kind of new being a coach in the program, but I just love full accountability. Courtney knows this, like, yes, we have a call every single week, but we talk all day long, every single day. I get a picture of her calendar at the start of every single morning so I know what she's doing all day long, because then it also allows me to kind of intervene in the day if her day falls apart, or if something happens, or if something good happens, I'm there to cheer her on. So I'm just having full perspective on her day-to-day business operations to be able to jump in right away and make quick adjustments for her. So full ownership, full accountability. She might not like it all the time, how I'm always just texting her, seeing what's up, but what I love about coaching is you really can't hide. And one of the easiest things to do in this business is hide when things aren't going well. And so just expect high accountability, high ownership, and just be ready to watch your numbers grow.
That's awesome. Can we give them a big round of applause, please? All good. Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you for your time. So to wrap everything up, I'd like to welcome Miss Rebecca Garces to the stage for a exciting last announcement before we wrap up this section. Can we give her a round of applause? I guess you can go to the mic.
Break this. Is this on? Okay. Thank you, Eamon. Well, I am happy to announce that starting this month in July, we will be introducing women's coaching. Yay! Our goal with the women's coaching program is to help our Tom James partners seeking to grow their personal women's sales with one-on-one training experience through mentorship, accountability, and skills training. The goal is to design and break ground, working a plan to take your women's business to a PC level. We have hand-selected 11 coaches, they're up on the screen, who have grown their women's business successfully, and they will lead you and develop your confidence and competence in calling on and serving women. The only qualification to apply is that you are a partner who has already had annual sales of 100 units in a rolling 12 months. And that shows us that you're trying, but you just need a little help, someone to come alongside you. So Trevor, we will come alongside you and we will help you keep those ladies' appointments stick. Applications can be found on the secured site starting for this month, so sign up and let's start growing. Thank you.
All right, y'all, to apply, secured site, training tab, coaching programs, and then you see the the 3 coaching programs that we have there, and then we'll have the women's one soon. So click the doc, make sure you qualify, read the criteria, make sure you're up for it, hit the apply button, and then be prepared to have the best month of your season. So, all right, thank y'all.
Tom James, please welcome back to the stage our executive team to honor our top 25 sales professionals.
But all of them have one thing in common. They've taken tremendous ownership of our opportunity. They didn't wait for success to show up. They built it one appointment, one referral, one new client at a time. And that's what makes this group exceptional. What makes them also exceptional is that they weren't more gifted or lucky. It's that they've made consistent decisions aligned with the principles of our company. They believe in themselves, they own their results, they stay connected to their goals, and they live the disciplines that drive our business forward. Mostly, what you notice about Top 25 is they are relentlessly consistent. But there's one more thing that's just as important. to be in top 25, you'll notice that they're still growing, and when you grow, you have fun. As you've seen what our founder has said a few times, success isn't something you get and you've got it. It's about continuing to grow and having fun while you're doing it. And that's exactly what this group embodies. It's perfectly aligned with the theme of this meeting, Here We Grow. They've created momentum, but they haven't settled. They keep reaching and building and sharpening and enjoying the process. And what I appreciate so much about our top 25 is what they do is duplicatable. When you spend time with a top 25 person, you'll notice, just watching the top 25 member, Dan Milas, up here talking with Trevor, you didn't feel like he was some untouchable person. They make what we do seem simple, which gives us all hope. The level of performance is available to anyone in this room who's willing to make the decision to believe, to commit, to grow, and reminder, have fun at what we get to do. That's why we are not proud of just what they've achieved, but what they represent for all of us in our company. So let's take a moment to recognize and celebrate the top 25 in our company today. Thank you, divisional team, for being here. Each top 25 achiever, as you come up, you will take a photo with the divisional team and then return to your seat. So are you ready to give Tom James family, our top 25, some great recognition and love? From Boston, number 25, Ari Gray. Number 24, Ben Lawler from St. Louis. Number 24, Sean Hickey. Number 23, number 22, Jill Scott. Number 21, Brent Balance from Detroit. Number 20, Bridget Benusi. Number 19, Jason Porter. Number 18, Jack Tierney. Number 17, Samantha Hammond. Number 16, Tate Zigerman. Number 15, Kevin and Megan Harris. Number 14, Jim Poston. Love you, pal.
Love you too.
Number 13, the one and the only Ricky B. Number 12, Mark and Ann Cleve. Number 11, Greg Pittman. Our number 10, Dan Milas. Number 9, Heather Milsage. Number 8, Jared Myers. Number 6, Jeff Franklin. All right, as we get into the rare air, as we talk about our top 5, before we recognize our top 5, I want to take a moment to really honor what this means. At Tom James, we're surrounded by talent. We're a company full of competitors, professionals, and builders, all pushing towards big goals. So when someone rises to the very top of that kind of group, it says a lot. Our top 5 didn't just have a strong year, they set the pace. They made daily decisions that most people would pass on. They built deep client loyalty. They lead from out front. And they did it with consistency, humility, and an ownership mindset. These 5 represent what's possible when skill meets effort, when belief meets action, and when someone decides to go all in, not just for the quarter or a year, but day in and day out. It's a huge accomplishment and something we should all take note of, whether you're a new partner here, a seasoned veteran, or somewhere in between. So let's celebrate them well, and let's let it fuel us to raise our own standards too. I present to you now, here are the top 5 sales professionals in the entire world for Tom James Company. At number 5, Alex Homer. I have something to say about him. No. Take a pick. So one of the things that a top 5 recipient receives, Alex, would you come over here for a second? I have a couple things for you. I have a little message from your leader. And I guess they can hear you, but do you want to describe this just for a little bit?
So most of the people in my office thought that this was maybe a Garmin watch, but this is not to take anything away from Tom James. We do it big. So this is an Hublot Big Bang Unico Italia. So I wanted something that was sporty and unique, and I couldn't be more grateful for working at Tom James.
Y'all, these are not only a significant gift that each top 5 member gets to choose, but it's something that can be treasured for a long time, and I know it's part of a legacy collection for you. I want to share something that your leader, Jeff Mitchell, wrote for you. Alex, this is from your leader, Jeff Mitchell. Alex is a true testament of consistency and work ethic. And getting back into the top 5 was just an inevitability. His work ethic, determination, and commitment to the Tom James values and philosophies and success habits inspire me daily. He removes every excuse from the book, puts his head down, and simply does what he needs to do to provide for Jen and Aston. We're all grateful to be along for the ride and watch you continue to push the boundaries and show us what's possible through our opportunity. Congratulations, my friend. Well done.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Steve.
You bet.
Thank you.
Our number 4 is no stranger to the stage. Would you welcome Amanda Latimer? Hi, Riley. Amanda, would you join me over here for a second? So what you may not know, if you haven't been here too long, is that Amanda is perennial. She has her beautiful family, which we've watched grow up in front of us. Dylan, Riley, Grayson. This is from her leader, Steve Adelsberg. And they're no stranger to the stage either. They're actually very comfortable. From her leader, Steve Adelsberg, year after year, Amanda continues to show up for our company and claim her standing in the top 5. She is industrious, driven, goal-oriented, and never takes no for an answer. She maintains this high level of success, all while juggling her most important role as mother to Dylan, Riley, and Grayson, and wife and life partner to David. I'm very proud of all Amanda has achieved this year and for the example she continues to set for our company as a perennial top 5 achiever. You'll notice there's only a few beautiful timepieces up here. Amanda has received that before, but her choice, as I understand, was a new closet system, which we couldn't put on the stage, but it's on the screen. She's redoing a beautiful home for her family, and she's decided to put her winnings into her custom closet. So would you guys congratulate Amanda again? Well done. Hi, honey. It's good to see you. Hi, buddy. It's good to see you. In our number 3 spot, we have a new inductee to the Tom James Top 5 spot. Would you welcome to the stage, number 3 in all the world, Cheyenne Peacock. Cheyenne, would you join me over here? So, Cheyenne was, she said, bullied, but she was encouraged by her partner, Jordan, to pick this beautiful Rolex with a pink, diamond-crusted face. Something.
That's why I got it, the pink face.
Yeah, the pink face. This is your first top 5 achievement. She wanted to give it to her, if you don't know, this is her husband, Keith, longtime friend, and her beautiful daughter, Olivia. And she wanted to do it for Keith, and she's like, Keith's not that into watches, until he saw her gift. So now she has a new quest for this next coming year. She wants to earn for her husband, Keith. I wanted to read a quick message, if I may, Cheyenne, from your leader, Bill, before we, if you wouldn't mind saying a few words yourself in a second. This is from your leader, Bill Yonke. First, congratulations. The fact that you finished as the number 3 salesperson in all of Tom James is no surprise. You work with a passion for growth, you have an efficiency that is unmatched, and you have built a great team that supports you, and you've become the role model that almost everyone in our office aspires to. You give of your time and talent to your peers in the top 25. You take on leadership roles, agree to numerous follow days, and balance it all with grace and humility. However, your secret power, it shouldn't make me emotional, but it does. Your secret power is your love for your husband, Keith, and your daughter, Olivia. You embody the idea of what you put into the lives of others comes back into your own. Thank you for all that you do and for pouring into the lives of all around you. Thank you for all that you do for all of Atlanta. With great humility, your leader, Bill Yonke. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Want to hold my hand? I won't lie, I am incredibly proud and grateful to be here today. Being in the top 5 is not something I ever thought was a possibility or I was capable of. I just thought that when I started, if I put my head down and worked really, really hard, that one day I'll be in the Chairman's Club. And then one thing led to another, and this is now my third speech for my sales achievements. My first one was President's Club, and the focus of that speech was to give thanks, give gratitude to the family that raised me, and also the company that gave me the tools and the environment to help me thrive. The second was my Chairman's Club speech, and the goal of that speech was to give people hope. I have always said and truly believe that if I can do well here, then anybody can. More specifically, during that speech, I shared a list of 10 things that I suck at. I would say that all of those things still stand today, except for I don't sweat quite as bad while making phone calls. And what I got the most grief for during that list was that I didn't know the difference between Ventura and Oxford. And that brings me to the achievement today. I should really look at the teleprompter a little bit. I'm still the same person that I was when I was 26 giving my President's Club speech, and I am still the same person that I was 10 years ago when I gave my Chairman's Club speech. I've just gotten a little bit better every day, every year, and that comes with a little bit more confidence. I've also gotten a little bit wiser. I've definitely realized that money or the things that it buys do not bring you happiness. So these pretty shoes that I'm wearing, or the home, the car, and even this gorgeous watch, they don't make me any happier. They're cool, they're super cool, and I'm thankful to have them, but even the coolness wears off after a little bit. But I mostly know now the difference between Ventura and Oxford. As a matter of fact, later today, I am presenting on it, so I better. My biggest goal in life was just not to worry about money, to give both Keith and I the flexibility to make whatever choices we wanted in our careers and lives. And now we're at that place. But money does, however, bring you freedom. Freedom to focus on what really matters in life, which is relationships. This speech, I wanted to put the focus back on gratitude, gratitude towards the people that I see in my daily life. First, I wanted to thank Bill Yankee, my leader. Bill, thank you for leading me with such calm and grace and joy. I wanted to thank my team, Nicole, Alicia, and Rico, for truly caring about me and our clients. It is a privilege to get to work with you guys every single day. Now, my little family. Take a sip of water. Owen. I'll start with my daughter, Olivia. Olivia, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being the happiest little girl and making me and Daddy laugh every single day. Thank you for our super, super, super hard hugs and kisses that you give us. It's so fun that you like going to fancy restaurants and flying on planes with me and Daddy. I love you forever, no matter what, okay? Okay. Lastly, my husband, Keith, who likes being on stage just as much as I do. So just to frame the next part of my speech, Keith has been an emergency room physician for 20 years. And in the last couple years, he's worked in an extension of the ER, which was kind of our goal for him to kind of get out of the emergency room. So this is obvious, but being an emergency room physician is one of the hardest jobs and most stressful jobs. Most people would say it's probably the most hard and stressful job on the planet. His job is to literally save somebody's life if necessary. But working in the emergency room does not come with any thank yous. Can you imagine that? Like, I expect appreciation when I deliver even a cool casual outfit. But hospitals don't have award ceremonies, and emergency room doctors don't get to work in positive environments. There's no President's Club for doctors, and they definitely don't have trips. So, honey, this one is dedicated to you. Let me tell you about Keith Peacock, who I've made feel really uncomfortable right now. This gem of a man that I'm so thankful to have run across at a bar in 2007. We've been married for 12 years now, and over that time, he's taken on almost all of the household responsibilities. About 7 years ago, we had Olivia. And since that time, 6 3/4. And since that time, he's taken the larger portion of the parenting responsibilities too. So to back me up on this, I thought I would ask Olivia some questions. Thanks, Laura. Olivia, I'm gonna ask you some super easy questions, okay, buddy? Okay. There's only 2 answers to these questions, mommy or daddy. Those are the only 2 answers, okay? Okay. Olivia, who makes you breakfast every day, mommy or daddy?
Well, mostly daddy.
Yep. Correct answer. Olivia, who takes you to school most of the time, mommy or daddy?
I don't really know.
The correct answer is daddy. Who makes your lunch every day? Who makes your lunch every day?
Let's see. I think mostly daddy.
Yep. That's right. Who picks you up from school most of the time?
Mommy.
The correct answer is daddy. Who makes us dinner most of the time?
Daddy.
Yep. Who reads to you most of the time?
Dad.
Who does bath time most of the time?
Dad.
Who takes you to the dentist?
Dad.
Eye doctor.
What? Who takes me to the eye doctor?
Yep.
Dad.
Yep. Who takes you to swim practice?
Dad.
Soccer practice?
Dad.
But who looks best when they leave for work, mommy or daddy?
Mom.
Good answer! Great job, buddy. You got all the right answers. Except one, yeah, that's okay. Honey, thank you for being my biggest supporter. Thank you for always asking me how my day was. Thank you for offering to help when you sense I'm overwhelmed. Thank you for giving me the best bite of the meal. Thank you for always switching cocktails with me when I don't like them. And I never like them. Thank you for always putting us first. I love you. In life, we'll have fantastic days, and then we'll have really, really hard ones and incredibly overwhelming ones. But gratitude makes both days better. Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. Good job up there. It's great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Well done. Thank you all for your amazing attention. Thank you, Cheyenne, for the well-crafted words and for your transparency and your authenticity. Personally, I just really appreciate that about you. Number one of the top 5 in all the world for Tom James Company, would you welcome to the stage Jordan Yoakum. Good morning, my friend. Would you want to tell us about this beautiful timepiece and your collection?
I think that you're better at that.
Well, I don't know enough about it other than it's a rubber strap Rolex. I would like to hear the story, though. I think you purchased this on your trip.
Yeah, so we were at lunch at one of our 7-course lunches in Greece, and Adelsberg was sitting next to me, and he said, "Hey, let's go to the watch store."
Shocking.
So then he said, "How far are we away?" And I pulled up on the GPS and said, "It says we're 15 minutes away." Well, that was 15 minutes by car. We decided to walk it. So there was about 25 of us heading to the watch store. Well, Adelsberg gets sucked into one watch store, and he's there for 3 hours.
Not surprising.
So then we go to one other watch store, and they wouldn't let us in because somebody had a heart attack.
Over the price?
It was at a Rolex store. So then we were just walking, and there was one store we walked into, and my wife's never done this, but she actually picked this watch out. She said, "Hey, I want to pick one out for you." So I didn't have a gold watch. I didn't want a gold watch, but this is a all gold Oyster Flex Yachtmaster, and I put the one I wanted on my wrist, and she said no. And then I put this one on. I was like, eh. And then this is actually my favorite one now. So this is, I don't know why I would ever go away from gold, but yeah, this is all gold Oyster Flex Yachtmaster.
I have one thing to ask you, and I know it's a little impromptu, before I wanted to share what your leader, Scott Osborne, wrote about you, and before you might say a word or two for us. You've been collecting these. You've been a perennial top 5. You've been in our number 1. And I was asking you, well, what do they mean to you? For some folks, they'd be like, it's a watch. But what's the value and what does it mean to you? Because you could easily do any of your gifts, but what's the value and what does it mean to you?
The biggest part of getting these symbols of appreciation are memories. So I was taught by a client of mine named Matt, he's one of my best friends now, that you always have to celebrate victories. Every time you hit a milestone, it has to be a victory. It has to be a dinner. It has to be something. I mean, when I hit 7,000 units, I got a pin. Brent Balance made fun of me for that, but I said I have to have something to symbolize it. So this job is hard. We have some of the hardest days ever, but when you can look to these memories, you remember why. That's what these are, is memories. And every single thing I have has a story, and I love stories. I love that about Spencer. Everything he had a story, and that's what these are. That's why I quote unquote bullied Cheyenne to get one when she didn't want one. She needed the story.
That's right. Let me read this, and then we'll let you say a word or two, and we'll wrap up today. This is from your leader, Scott Osborne. And I think it'd be okay if I shared this, not only what he said, but we have an inspirational every morning next door. And one of the things we do for our partners and certainly our company is we lift people up with prayer intentions. And Scott, who I get to work with, 2 weeks ago, his dad went into hospice, and on Monday, a week ago, his dad passed. And I had just called to check on him, and was rightly wanting to potentially give him the opportunity to not be here. And he spent a lot of time with his dad. He has no regrets. He had a wonderful story about it. And not only is Scott here, the funeral was just on Saturday. He came on Sunday, and he's going to sales school next week with a new partner. And I'm just grateful to his level of commitment, both to our company, his family, and to Jordan as his direct person. So, from your leader, Scott Osborne, most of us have heard the Zig Ziglar quote, "If you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want." Jordan has that service mindset. And as a result, he leads the company in units sold and clients served. His service mindset also has helped Tom James Partners to achieve new sales goals, improve systems for efficiency, and improve service to all Tom James clients. Most importantly, Jordan prioritizes his family. He puts his marriage to Rachel at first and his children right there with him. Jordan is always at his kids' events and ball games. It is a privilege and honor to have the opportunity to lead Jordan Yoakum. Everybody, would you give Jordan Yoakum a big round of applause? I'll put that back for you right here. You want to just say a word? You don't have to, but you can. I'd appreciate it.
Thank you. I definitely can't follow up to Cheyenne. That was the best speech of all time. And this is a little impromptu, but Cheyenne sat next to me and she said, "Hey, are they going to ask you to speak?" And I said, "I don't think so." But here we are. I want to first say that there are two true number ones, and that is Cheyenne and Amanda. You do not know what this job's like unless you're a mom. And I was I got to sit in my wife's seat when my daughter was hurt and take care of the kids, and they are the real number ones, these women of our top 5. I want to give a hand to that. Secondly, I want to give praise up to Steve Adelsberg, because in my eyes, he is still the GOAT. And though he cannot be here today, I know he wishes he could. So I just want to give praise to these people, and I'll leave you with this. Cheyenne asked this, and she said, "If you had to, what are you going to talk about?" And I said, "It'll probably be about fear." I had no aspirations to be number one. Never have I been. I cannot wait for somebody to take the mantle. I will repeat that. I cannot wait for someone to take the mantle. And I did have aspirations to be the best version of myself. And I always want to win. I always want to beat myself. And that's more to prove that I am better. I still feel to this day I haven't reached my potential. That is not arrogant. It's just how I feel. And I don't think I've reached my potential. I think there are 300 people in this room that don't think they've reached their potential. And I think what's holding you back is your self-image. It is 100% your self-image, what you think about yourself. Cheyenne, did you feel like you'd ever be a 6,000 unit producer? When Dominic and I called you, you definitely were scared. But you said, "I'm in." And I would challenge you to find a Scott Osborne. I would challenge you to find a Steve Adelsberg. I challenge you to find somebody that will push you beyond brink, because they will show you who you really can be. I coach on this all the time. You do not know who you can be until your back is pushed against the wall, until you have to do something. Most people in this room have goals that they want to do. Make it a have to do. It's a have to do when you tie it to something, like a spouse, a family member, someone. Have to do it. You do not know what you can do until you have to do it. Put yourself in those shoes. Because I think everyone in this room haven't reached their potential. I think the minimum President's Club should be 2,000. Hayes should be the new Chairman's Club. That is my belief. When I first started, I think we had 2 Chairman's Club members speak. I think every year now we have 20. It's the new bar. I think 2,000 should be the new bar. Push yourself. You do not know what you can do until you try. And I would also challenge you, do not surround yourself with negativity. Whether I like it or not, I get asked questions all the time, and they said, hey, do you think Tom James could change this or whatever? Or can you talk to Todd about this? Or can you talk to Steve about this? And I'm like, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't move the ball. The only thing that matters is, are we selling clients and serving people? None of that stuff matters. Move the ball. So again, I didn't know I was supposed to speak today. But I would challenge you to be a better version, get rid of the negativity. If you have someone in your friend circle that's bringing you down, they're no longer in your friend circle. And I was told this by Steve, as you rise to the top, your friend circle gets very, very small because you're always going to have somebody trying to bring you down. So I would challenge you, get rid of the people. And by the way, I'm taking my watch. I'm not leaving it up here. I don't know why everybody else left theirs up here, but thank you all.
Thank you all so much. Thank you to our top 25 and top 5 for the example you set every day, for the belief barriers you break. Thank you all for your attention. And LeVar and Sheila, welcome back up here.
If you are ready to hear about the financial health of our company, please give a warm welcome to your CFO, John Hitt, for our annual stockholders meeting.
Good morning. The time is 9:20 a.m., July 1st, 2025, and it's time to start the 2025 stockholders meeting of Tom James Company. I would like to begin by welcoming you to the meeting. I would like to ask George Stoner to act as secretary at this meeting. George, can you attest to the fact that notice of the meeting was mailed to each shareholder of record as of June 6th, 2025? Thank you, George. Can you also attest that the holders of a quorum of the stock of the company are present? Thank you, George. I now declare the 2025 annual meeting of Tom James Company to be officially convened. The first order of business will be the election of directors. The following individuals have been nominated to act as directors of the company for the ensuing year or until their successors are chosen: Todd Brown, Craig Forrest, George Stoner, and John Hitt. We will now vote on the election of directors. All those in favor of the slate of directors proposed, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Secretary, please note that the shareholders voted to elect the directors nominated. The next order of business to be considered is the ratification of LBMC as auditors to make an examination of the company's accounts for the year 2025. The Board of Directors recommends that the shareholders ratify the selection of the auditors for 2025. We will now vote on this matter. All those in favor of the appointment of LBMC as auditors, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Secretary, please note that the shareholders ratified the selection of LBMC as the company's auditors for 2025. Is there any other business to be brought before the shareholders? Thank you, George. We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second to that motion? Thank you. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. The meeting is adjourned. We will now review items of interest concerning our company. The 2025 annual report has been posted to the secured site. The annual report summarizes the financial state of the company as of the close of the preceding year. I encourage you to review it in detail at your convenience. In the remainder of our time together today, we will cover selected sections of the 2025 annual report. The annual report begins with our mission statement, followed by an opening letter from the Board of Directors. The letter begins, 2024 was a year of refinement and records for Tom James. With the return of stability and predictability to our businesses following the roller coaster ride of COVID-19 and its aftermath, we were finally able to begin fine-tuning our operations for greater results. And here are some of those. 2024 consolidated sales, $427 million, best ever. That's the entire company. Tom James Retail, $269 million, best ever sales. Tom James Retail profits, $14.1 million. That was a 41% increase over 2023. In 2024, our consolidated pre-tax profits were $45.4 million. And don't ever take this next one for granted. That is 46 consecutive years that this company has made a profit. It was also our 5th most profitable year ever. And as a short story, we once asked our bankers, JP Morgan, if they had any other clients that had made money for 46 consecutive years. And they replied, not only do we not have a client that can say that, we cannot say that. Earnings per dilutive share last year were $2.89. That's the highest ever. Our women's sales were the highest ever at $27.8 million, which was an 11% increase. January, February, March, and June were Hall of Fame sales months. And nonconformance for 2024 was 4.6%, which is a 0.79% increase from the year before. Give that some love. It goes on. June 24 was the best June and the best month in company history. December 24 was the 5th best month in company history. We had sales increases, P&L style, in 10 out of 12 months. On the manufacturing side, Tom James of Chile, Copley, and Oxford all had their best year ever. And in the interiors division, 2024 Holland & Sherry sales were the best ever, with the New York, Chicago, Washington, Los Angeles, Dania Beach, Boston, Atlanta, Houston, Seattle, and Denver showrooms all recording their best sales years ever. These strong results have continued into 2025. We've had retail sales increases 4 out of 6 months this year. Our profits through May in Tom James Retail are up 161%. Our consolidated profits company-wide are up 23% through May over 2024. And we've already had 2 Hall of Fame months this year, March and May. For the remainder of 2025, Tom James is focused on further refinements and enhancements to our business and our opportunity with the following initiatives on cue for fall of 2025. The return of the fall getaway trips, renewed focus on the Wardrobe Masters initiative, combining men's and women's garments with richer, more flexible payout options, growth of the women's business, including specialized training planned for the January 2026 sales meeting, store leader development, and the introduction of the essential success elements for Tom James stores. Reintroduction of the enhanced sales development representative program, restructured training with pre-selling returning from 3 months to 2 months, consolidated leadership training, enhancements to the team training pay model, and the introduction of the Tom James Team Leadership Agreement. While uncertainty remains in the form of inflation, interest rates, and potential tariffs, Tom James remains resolute and confident on our inevitable march towards $1 billion in combined sales. The words of our founder, Spencer Hayes, illuminate the path forward with succinct clarity. We believe that it is management's responsibility to guarantee every worker in our business job security. And the only way we can do that is to run the company in such a way that we make money. And the only way a company can make money is to grow its sales. If a company's sales stay the same, then since expenses are going up every year, it can't make more money. It makes less money. The only way a company can grow its profits is to grow its sales. At Tom James, we know that a business cannot save its way into a profit. It is only growth in the form of new sellers and greater results for existing sellers that will achieve our goals. There are 3 significant upcoming dates on the Tom James stock calendar. October 1st will be our next share price announcement. January of 26, a potential dividend announcement. And then April 1st of 26, we will have another share price announcement. We look forward to each of these days and the announcements they will bring. What will be the next share price? What will be the next dividend? This is your company, and you will determine what happens next. Let's make each of those dates something special. I thank you for your time and attention today, and I thank you for all that you are doing to build our company. It is great to be in business with you.
Please welcome our visionary panel, Dash Yost, Madison D., Rick Brightbeal, and Taylor Wright.
Let's get rid of that picture real quick. Okay. Hey, it's my favorite thing right now. I love this. Right? Piece of cake, Steve Adams. Hi, Tori. Oh, Tori. Okay, here we go. So, near and dear. Here we go. Over, under. I was on the over. If you need to go to the bathroom, it's a great time. Y'all, I get to talk about thank you, what this means to me, personal development. Look at this handsome guy. He's not up there. Where's he put? Look at this handsome guy. He even put a tie on for his picture. Let's give him a round of applause for that. Last time I was up here, I bumped into him in the hallway, and I was like, dude, I hate it. You don't have any idea. He's like, you did great. I'm like, no, I hate it. I hate getting emotional. I hate sharing my story time and time again. He's like, dude, I love your story. He's like, besides, it's the only one you got. And that stuck with me, so thanks, Ryan. Real quick, I'm going to run through this as best I can. All right, so to the old partners, sorry, you're hearing it again. To the new partners, just to give you a little background. It's stupid. My mom worked 4 jobs. My dad drank. I was the youngest of 4. At one point, we were kicked out of the house. So raised in poverty. And it's hard to talk about every time. It is. It is what it is. But it's my story, right? And I found this beautiful company on something called Career Builder. It's not existing anymore, I don't think. But y'all, I came here. You just stick with this story for a second. I came here to make money. Anybody else do that? I came here to make millions of dollars, millions upon millions of dollars. That was the opportunity that I saw. Josh Smith talked to me about private jets, and I'm like, I'm in on that. Right? And movie theaters, Josh, still don't have it, but yours is awesome. It's not that important anymore. But y'all, Abby called me and she said, Dash, I want you to talk. I said, no, because she's asked me like time and time again, and I thought about it. I said, I gotta get over this fear. And so I literally put my story in ChatGPT. I was like, I'm just, what is the impact that this company has had on me? And, this is what it said my life would look like. I most likely just a high school diploma. I went to college, first in my family to graduate. Income would be roughly $45,000 a year. Thank God it's not. I'd be in manual labor. I'd have a high risk of anxiety and depression or substance abuse. I haven't drank in about a year. Most likely to be divorced, single parents, chronic health conditions. I'm healthy. I tell my wife I can't be bald, fat, and ugly, so I got to be healthy. And criminal justice, part of my story, you guys, you heard I was in that. And the main reason I'm not in any criminal justice contact anymore is my wife. She'd yell at me, so I stay away from that. And then I said, okay, but I picked a direct selling company to make money. And so then I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, what's the average direct salesperson make? I was blown away. The average direct salesperson makes about $6,000 to $15,000. Can you believe that? Full-time direct sellers make roughly $35,000 to $60,000+. Top 10% might make $100,000, some much more. And it says in large MLMs, okay? And the bottom 50%, guys, make less than $500 a year. This is the average person at Tom James. Yes. That's beautiful. It's amazing. But I love what we heard here at the top 25. As you get older and you realize what's really important. Money gives you options. But this right here is what your opportunity is at Tom James when you, just like Jordan Yoakum, you work on yourself. You're in a job of influence, and your job's to influence other people. And I can speak personally. The better I become, the more I make. The better I become, the better father I am. The more I make. It goes hand in hand in this career that we've chosen. And we have beautiful examples. Look at our leadership. They're not perfect. Jason Caldwell might be, but everybody else isn't. And you look at people like Jordan Yoakum, who was asked to be fired multiple times by his leader. And one of our great leaders, John Holland, said no. And so for those people who didn't know Jordan when he started, he's just continuing to become a better man and developing. And so we have 3 great people coming up here to give you their stories and their development and what this company's done for them. And our first one's going to be Madison D. Her leader, Eamon, said she's one of the best examples of taking full advantage of the Tom James opportunity. She has an extremely high standard for herself, knows exactly what she wants, and continuously has a clear path on how to get it. Madison will be the first to tell you things don't always go the way she wants. But what she shows her true character is how she responds to adversity. She focuses on what she can control. She makes adjustments and executes at a very high level. I believe is one of the biggest reasons she's had exponential growth of her career. Outside of her selling responsibilities, she leads a team, teaches at sales school, is a top-tier coach in our coaching program, and is always willing and open to help out new partners by being on training teams. Our office and our company is very fortunate to have her influence. And personally, I was able to work with Madison in developing our character development part of our sales school. And she is better than what he just said. So if we could, Madison, please come on up.
Oh gosh, this is nerve-wracking. But full transparency, when I was asked to stand up here and give a personal growth speech, my first reaction was, why me? Honestly, I'm standing up here knowing I don't have everything figured out or all together. So to give you guys some background on who I am. I'm 25 years old. And I'm incredibly fortunate to have two amazing parents that share an inspirational marriage. I have a role model of a sister and an incredible boyfriend. And I've just always had a strong support system. In school, I was never the best, but I squeezed by. And now here at Tom James, in the past 3 years, I've started building a career I'm proud of, where I've grown season over season. And I'm extremely fortunate and grateful because I haven't had to go through any crazy life events that I hear in most inspirational speeches. So I feel privileged and very fortunate. So I really thought this might be a really boring growth story. In my 25 years of life, the only growth I focused on was my height. And spoiler alert, I didn't really grow in that area. And so some days I still feel like a kid trying to figure out how to do basic adult tasks like take the trash out or how to grocery shop. So again, I wondered, why me? I'm just getting started. But then I took a step back and I realized, while I still may physically be the same person, I'm not the same version of who I was 3 years ago. And I'm still working on the person I'm going to be in 5, 10, 20, and so on years. So while I'm not there yet, I'm seeing the progress. So maybe that's the point. And I owe so much of that to my support system and the people and principals here at Tom James. And so I want to show this picture. And it's ironic because when I first started, my leader, Eamon El-Shami, would show me this photo. And to be honest, I told him I hated it. I really did. But now I get it. So thank you, Eamon, for always reminding me, even when I didn't want to hear it. So to kind of dive in deeper, at 22 years old, some point in my first year, Jose Perez sat me down, looked me dead in the eyes, and asked me, "What is your purpose?" To say I was intimidated, having someone at that level and tenure ask me that, would be an understatement. And I had no idea how to respond. I had no idea what my life could potentially look like or who I was supposed to be. And that scared me. But that question has stuck with me. And I ask myself that over and over and over again all the time. And my answer continues to evolve. Asking what is my purpose has helped me see my vision so much more clear. It's helped me develop or realize what character traits I still need to develop and who I want to become, not just in my career, but in life. And I've realized that my vision for my life is so much greater than just myself. And finding that purpose is the reason for my growth. That is my why. So that leads me to the next part, goals. This is really what's been fueling my motivation and giving me direction. They're just many stepping stones to the life I want to build. And while I stopped working for just myself, and I actually started connecting my goals to what I want outside of work, the job got a lot more fun. And Tori Cates taught me that Tom James is just a piggy bank. You just have to make it work for you. And with that mindset, it's transformed how I think about goal setting and how to use Tom James as just a tool to get what I want out of life. So I've just learned how to set really big goals, not because they just sound cool, but because I know I need to achieve them to get to my vision. But truthfully, I've never hit a goal on time, but at least I've failed forward. And that's taught me nothing with real value comes easy, and we're all on our own timeline. So maybe the most important thing I've learned is that the only limit any of us have is the ones we place on ourselves. So I believe the life I'm building is valuable and worth building. So why would I set goals that don't reflect it and reflect the standards I see for myself? But setting goals is just part of it. You can say anything, but it's the actions and habits that carry weight. That's where the real growth happens. And I've realized with big, crazy goals, failures are inevitable. So I shouldn't fear it. I should just learn from them. And at my very first international meeting, Caitlin Hogan said, I don't have to be the best, as long as I'm the best version of myself. And that one line has shaped how I approach all my habits and my growth. It's taught me to push myself, but also give myself grace. My best may look different on certain days, whatever life throws my way. But it's taught me to love myself now, but to love my future self more. And again, shout out Eamon for reminding me that nothing is absolute. You, along with so many others, have helped me learn to embrace the change, embrace the failures, learn, adjust, and stay out of 5. What can I control? And how can I just be 1% better today through my actions? So that's where I've seen the most growth. It's not instant, but it's building the endurance, it's building confidence, and slowly becoming the person I want to be. And to see that growth in others is remarkable. My direct, Nolan Harville, I see it in him every day. His resiliency and his attitude is incredible and inspiring. And he might not see it yet, but I do. And I am so grateful to learn from him. And so lastly, the rest of the pyramid just follows, as long as I focus on those 3 things. So my growth story isn't about achievements or the titles or crazy numbers or crazy Excel sheets. Those don't define me. Those are not my purpose. And I hope it doesn't define anyone in here. So where I've found the most personal growth is through finding my purpose and the vision in life, and then understanding the route I need to take to get there. It's realizing it's the in-betweens, the small habits you build, the character traits you develop, and the conversations you have. The questions that you ask and the one-liners that stick with you, and it's the risks that you take and the failures you push through. It's in those small, often overlooked moments where you slowly and quietly become that person you want to become. And that's when your life starts to take shape. And if you're like me, you may not notice until you look back on time, but then you realize you've grown a lot more than you thought. And I know I'm not there yet, but I'm excited to see what's to come. So thank you.
All right, y'all, the next one's gonna bring some energy and you know it, but this next man is a pillar of Tom James. We'll get him a good round of applause here in a second. He deserves it. Y'all, Rick Brightbill, hear this for 1 second, okay? Stay with me. This man has sold over $26.5 million in clothing in his career, okay? But when I think of Rick, because I have the pleasure to work for him, is I think of faith, I think of family, and then I think of fun. So our next speaker is Rick Brightbill.
Hello. Well, it's been about 7 years since I've been up here. This is quite fun, so I appreciate the opportunity. Well, I'm just going to give you just a small snapshot of the story of my life. I've been here for 27 years, and I started in 1998. But I'm just going to give you a little story of my life, and it starts with visualizing the life you want to have. Think about what you want, and see in your mind's eye is the title of my story. So wanting is the key to my time with you today, just wanting. The absolute word wanting. Think about it. What do you want? Not what you don't want, but what do you want? I will share with you 8 phases of my 27-year career with you. Here we go. My first phase was when I was 23. I went to Miami of Ohio. I wanted to be successful. I listened to Steve Alisberg. I listened to Jeff Franklin. I listened to all the legends here at Tom James, Naresh Khanna. So the first story I have is I drove 1 hour to see a client in Xenia, Ohio from Cincinnati. And you'll see that picture in the front there. That was when I was 23, when I first started here. So I drove to see this prospect, and he bought 1 tie. Okay? I didn't know if this was for me or not. I just was very destroyed, and all of a sudden, I looked up to the heavens, and this light shined right on my car, driving back to Cincinnati. And I came up with this through Dave Dobbins' help. Thank you, Dave. I help people live a richer, fuller life by putting them in great-looking, great-fitting Tom James clothing. And that has inspired me and gotten me so alive in what we do, because it's not about me, it's about inspiring other people. So I craved a defining purpose when I came here, not to sell clothing, but to change people's lives, both clients and my team. I craved a defining purpose in the early part of my career to inspire me, to get up early and do this job. So the second phase of my career is wanting to meet the love of my life. If I dance, because I just don't want to cry. Anyway, Jean and I met 24 years ago at Miami. Here are my thoughts on marriage. Okay, we've been married, actually we met 27 years ago. We've been married 24 years. My thoughts on marriage. If you want a green lawn, you spend lots of time tending to it. Same is true for a healthy marriage. Tend your marriage and your relationship will flourish. So, third phase of my story is wanting a family. I visualize having kids and a loving family life. Jean and I are blessed to have 3 children. I took up sailing a couple years ago. I'm sailing in 3 weeks up on Lake Superior. I just love the freedom you get from doing that, but anyway, that picture there. I've dreamed of the best private schools for my children. This is a reality. I've given them all I have, the best schools. I dream to have a foundation. We go to Mass every week. Get in the car, kids. I don't want to hear it. Just get in the car. Chasing them around the house, putting flip-flops on their feet. Jesus doesn't care as long as you're sitting in that pew. Get in the car. Anyway. So I believe that families that pray together and wholeheartedly support each other will stay together. We praise together, and we have fun doing it. And we always hear my son at the end saying, "Are we going to go get breakfast bagels afterwards?" It's like nonstop every time. Anyway, my fourth phase of my life is wanting bigger success at Tom James. Just wanting and craving bigger success. Better homes, better cars, better lifestyle, better trips. I visualize hitting Chairman's Club. I wanted to hit Hayes Club. I wanted to hit Car and Driver. One of the things during COVID is I wanted to be a leader in this company and not give up, give it everything I have. Life, like our company, has given me so much, I wanted to give everything I had. So if you visualize what you want and ardently desire it, and you have a dogged desire, all your dreams will happen. I'm a testament to that. My fifth phase is wanting to be a coach. I enjoy coaching my children in sports and academics. I remember in 3rd grade that nobody wanted to step on coach football. Guess who's ever coached football? Not me, but I did it. And in giving, you receive, and it was the best thing ever. It's rewarding to coach and see your personal development, your kids and their friends develop. I caddied for them golf tournaments. My dad was almost a pro, so I had the vision my kids could be great. I caddied for them. I inspired them. We got into tussles out on the. I remember my son, 8th grade year. He's like, "I'm going to hit this chip this way." I was like, "No, that's bump and run. You got to play the green." So we've had the journeys together, but hundreds of football stories. Coaching the Cincinnati team here in Cincinnati has been both rewarding and exciting. Love our Cincinnati team. Shout out to Cincinnati. There you are. My sixth phase of my story is wanting my kids to do their best. I always said we finish what we start. Life is about growing, achieving, being involved. You are what you think about. Control your mindset. Control what you think about. Control what goes in the brain. God gave us the opportunity to control those thoughts. Failing happens if you stop trying. My 7th phase of my story is to model a happy, healthy, terrific life. I met Spencer Hayes in 1994, the founder of our company. And I knew at that point that I wanted to be a part of this organization. Here we are, 31 years. I sold books for 4 years. And he would always say, with his eyebrows, "I live a happy, healthy life. How are you?" So anyway, well-rounded people are happier. A well-rounded life is the 6 F's. Focus on your faith, your family, your fun. What are you doing for fun? Always map it out. Focus on your friendships, your support groups. Focus on your finance, growing your finances. And focus on your fitness. Keep your health moving in the right direction. Bright Bills don't run from pain. We don't run from it. I've told my kids that. Pain is inevitable. It's how you embrace it. Embrace the journey. Visualize the joy that comes from a job well done. Remember, action precedes feeling. If you want to feel a certain way, act what way first and the feeling comes. It's not the other way around. Lastly, my last phase of wanting is embrace hope. Dream big and act. I visualize having a vacation on the water for 20 years. In 2023, I bought a second home in Party Barn, 30 miles from Cincinnati, on the scenic Little Miami River. It's absolutely breathtaking. Every time I go there, I see bald eagles. I saw the nest last week. It was incredible. The bald eagle nest right on the river right outside my home. Speaking in existence the life you want. This river home has become possible because I have grown my business 24 of the 27 years here at Tom James. I've invested in Tom James stock from the beginning. I didn't know much about it, but I invested, I poured into it. I saw the levels to hit, and I said, I can't miss that level this season. I can't miss that. I can't miss that. If I miss that, that cost me $1 million when I'm in my 60s, right now. It happens now, the time value of money. I said, now is the time. Urgency is important. So I've invested in Tom James stock from the beginning, all 27 years. In conclusion, think about what you want daily, what you want. Visualize it and develop the skills and habits and attitude to help you that you need to win. Thank you.
Our last speaker is Taylor Wright. Taylor's leader, Jess Murphy, said she's one of the most focused and intentional people she knows. She started with Tom James in 2021, hit President's Club right out of the gate. Then for fun, she moved to Salt Lake City to reopen our office there. She rebuilt her entire book and hit PC again this Friday. And this time it was just 8 months, y'all, earning a spot in the Hall of Fame. She's competitive, driven, sets big goals, and out in the work to make them happen. I admire how she chases growth in and out of the business, whether it's running for her first 10K or doing inner work to level up personally. I can't wait to hear from her today. Taylor Wright.
I'm really nervous. But I never thought that I would be in sales. I wasn't the kid in college that was so passionate about it and knew that's what I was gonna do. Honestly, it's probably because I was never confident enough in myself. Even class presentations would freak me out so much that after it was over, I couldn't remember what I said or literally anything about it. I grew up putting all my confidence and self-worth into being perfect. I was perfect in school, I followed the rules, I did everything how I was supposed to, and I thought I was happy. And then along came Tom James. When I started with Tom James, I had never really been challenged the way that a career like this challenges you. I was not equipped to handle the failure and rejection, even though I said I was in my interview. This took a toll on me mentally very quickly. I had a quick start, I hit Oxford level 2, but I never felt like I was good enough because there were always people doing better than me. I had just moved to Vegas, where I didn't know many people, and I felt like I wasn't succeeding at work. I honestly felt like, why am I even here? As a control freak, I struggled with focusing on my controllables. My self-worth became the numbers I put up every month. I decided to feel in control through some negative eating habits. I knew that that was something I could control in my life when I felt like everything else was crumbling. I won't go into major details about it, but I lost over 30 pounds in a decently short time. I was constantly sick, I was drinking a lot, and I just thought this is how my life is gonna be. The people here truly changed my life. My leader, Jessica, became someone that I could lean on. She helped me get the help that I needed and taught me, and is still teaching me how to figure out what my goals are that actually make me happy. I worked through this challenge, but it never fully went away. Anytime something would happen that I felt I couldn't control, I would fall right back into it. However, these times I knew that I couldn't live like that, so I really started to focus on my mental health. I would like to say that things have been all bright and sunny for me since my first year at Tom James, but they haven't. I was still struggling a lot with my why. I hit President's Club, I went on to hit Cabinet, but I did it for someone to high-five me and just tell me good job. I spent my last year in Vegas really lost. I think I knew I wasn't in the right city, but I let this negative headspace go on for so long that I physically couldn't get out of it. I woke up every day and everything just felt gray. I had no energy, and honestly, I was crying a lot. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I was exercising, I was writing down my gratitude, but I just couldn't get out of it. I decided that it was finally time to leave Vegas. Moving to Salt Lake had always been in my plan, but I kept pushing it off. Every time Micah would ask me when I was going to apply, I would tell her next year, every year. But last summer, I went through You Build It, You Keep It, and applied to reopen our Salt Lake office. I was approved, to my surprise, and a couple months later, I gave up my business in Vegas and started over again in Salt Lake. I thought that this was gonna make all my problems go away. While I was living in the place I wanted to be, I still didn't have any friends, and I had to do more work now because I also had no clients. After the January meeting in Orlando, I decided I really needed a real change. So after getting help medically, I've started really focusing on what I wanted and what would make me happy. So I came up with my top 10 goals for 2025, and I've already done some of them. As already mentioned, I just hit the Hall of Fame for PC in 8 months as a restarter. Thank you. I bought my dream car a couple months ago. There it is. There she is. And I ran a 10K. Here's my first one. I've actually ran 2 now, so I have another one that I just finished, and I'm gonna run a half marathon this fall. So, but I wake up every day feeling actual gratitude for my life. I wake up to this view from my apartment downtown with my cutie cat, who I love, and I get to check my phone every morning and see what my friends are grateful for. And I get to share with them what I'm grateful for. The biggest change that I made this year was just putting myself first and figuring out how I wanted to live my days, and it's definitely paying off. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Wow. If y'all aren't feeling motivated from those talks, I don't know what's going to get you up and get you feeling your best. Next, short break, get some coffee, get to your breakout sessions, and we'll see you this afternoon. Thank you, guys.